What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? NoZoupForYou here, and you are looking at some ranked action. And I decided to play the Shimikaze, which I really haven't touched that much in this season of Sprint, in the numerous sprints that we've already had. So I decided to play it for a couple of reasons, and I'm going to get into those and why I think it's still a pretty viable ship despite not really being a gunboat. It does have some very good qualities to it that I think make it more so viable than Gearing or Summers or some of the other ships. Now, you're definitely going to have issues against ships like Smalland and Kleber and other gunships, but you're not going to try and get in a gunfight in this ship. So, I'm going to walk you through the merits of this ship in ranked gameplay, why I think for a destroyer player, it's a really good destroyer to use in a ranked gameplay setting, and you're seeing part of that right now. So I'm going to walk you through the pros and cons, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and this round in particular, what I did and why. And you can see myself backing into the A/B cap right now. Now, I did tinker around with the torpedoes. I used, well, not all of them, because obviously you don't want to use the shortest torpedoes. The Type F3 with a range of 8 kilometers, though they're blazing fast, it's more of a meme torpedo than anything else, and I would not recommend using those in this setting. I did mess around with the Type 93 and the Type 93 Mod 3. I kind of bounced back between the two. The regular Type 93s with a range of 20 kilometers. You know, that's good range. That's really good range, and you can really reach out and touch ships. But in a rank setting, especially in gold, players tend to know a little bit more of what they're doing. And the problem with those torpedoes as well is that they're easy to spot and easy to avoid for a player that actually knows what they're doing. So I settled on the Type 93 Mod 3, which I think the majority of players have settled on, or at least use. Those give you a 12-kilometer range, maximum damage of 23,766, and a base speed of 67 knots, of course, with other modules and everything else. You can get those up to about 72 knots. Did I say kilometers earlier? I don't know. 72 knots, and you can see that in Montana. You see, he was on the ball there. He probably knew I was going to be there and decided to turn, but that's okay. I'm going to push the attack right here. So I feel the 12-kilometer torps give a very, very happy medium. One thing about the Shimakaze, and one of the big caveats, I would recommend really only using this ship if you have the legendary module to knock the reload boost on, or not reload boost, but the reload speed on your torpedoes down. With that legendary module, and you can see I've got perfect positioning here, and I'm just going to fire off the one rack of torps I have before hiding behind this island. There's another shimmy there. I'm going to try and get some shots on him as well with my main guns. Although this Nevsky here decided to pop, and he's hanging out there, which does concern me, so I'm not going to loiter around too long. I want to get out of here. I don't like Russian Russian cruisers. Russian cruisers, and you can see right there, one torp hit. Very nice. Russian cruisers I hate in ranked, and there's 3 hits total on that Montana. So a good salvo right there. Is it a salvo or is it a rack? Salvo would be guns, I guess. Very, very good rack of torps right there, or launching of them. So three good hits right there. I've already got 2 solo caps, but I tend to fear Russian cruisers more than even USN cruisers, just because their range on their radar is so long. So I really try to keep a wide berth of them. So this round's already off to a decent start for me with the caps alone. I've only got half the health, but yes, for the torpedoes you'll want to go with the Type 93 Mod 3s, and really you'll want to use this ship primarily if you have the legendary module, which bumps your reload down to 1.42 or 1.43, 1 minute 43 seconds, which is actually really good for torpedo reload on this ship. I mean, you are able to pump out an insane amount of torpedoes fairly often. which is one good pro about this ship. Cons, obviously, guns, definitely not a gunboat in a very gunboat type of meta. Got to keep that in mind. But the other thing about this ship, which USN destroyer mains probably can tell you, is that 5.6 concealment is very, very helpful in a ranked setting. It allows you to spot basically every other destroyer, save for the USN destroyers, without being spotted. And here's this gearing right here. He just kind of popped out of nowhere. All I can really do at this point is back up. I don't have smoke available for another 15 seconds, but I know I'm going to be able to get to this island before he can take me out. But already I'm running very low on health right now, so I am concerned about my overall standing this round. Hopefully one of these torps is going to hit. And there you go right there. Somewhat of a panic fire, but somewhat not. You know, when you fire these torps, you kind of got to spread around to account for the destroyer bobbing and weaving and getting out of there. But with that, they've got no more destroyers. And really the only cruiser I have to worry about is on the other side of the map, that Nevsky. He's way out there. So this is pretty much free reign for me. And I'm going to retake the cap. I'm urging my team to move on. I mean, the battleships and everything are still kind of hanging in the back, and there's no need for them to be at this point. I've eliminated both key threats in both destroyers. So really, I am kind of the big dog right now. I'm the one that all the other ships should be fearing, because they're not going to be able to see me until they get close enough. Like this Montana right here got within my 5.6 kilometer range. However, I am launching smoke right now. I am a little afraid that one of these ships is going to get a lucky errant shot, which is possible, highly possible. But I'm smoked up well, my torps are in, and I'm going to destroy him. Not wise to push me, or a shimmy in general. But again, at this point, I have free reign. There is no other ship other than that Russian cruiser that I fear. All other ships need to be wary of me, because with 5.6 concealment, I can sneak up pretty much on anyone. And with these Type 93 Mod 3s, these torps are just slightly harder to spot than the other ones. They don't have quite as much time to sneak from them. And this Hindenburg doesn't know I'm here. He doesn't have a clue, really, so I'm going to fire at him right now. Although I almost blew it right there. I forgot to turn off my AA, but I don't think he noticed me. I think he was so intent on going the other direction and focusing on the ships over towards sea that he didn't notice me when I popped up, which is to my benefit. So this is just an overly good round highlighting the capabilities of this ship, of the Shimikaze in ranked gameplay. Is it the best option destroyer-wise? No, probably not. Once again, it's really a gunboat meta right now. And again, I would tell you that you have to be a competent a competent DD. If I could even speak straight. You have to be a competent DD player to get the best out of the Shimikaze and to use it effectively. And again, having that legendary module, for me, that's kind of the tipping point. If I didn't have that, I probably would not be using the Shimikaze in ranked gameplay, just because that additional amount of time required to get those torps off really decreases the viability of this ship. Fortunately, it's got that great concealment, though, that 5.6 concealment, which does keep this ship competitive. Once again, if the concealment was any less than 5.6, I probably would not take this ship. It just would not give too much of a comfort zone if you were at about 6 kilometers. But this does allow you to get the drop on just about every other destroyer out there. The only other ships out there with as good concealment, again, are going to be your USN destroyers, which, if you do come across those, once again, for instance, gearing, you have to be very, very careful, because they, while not the best gunboats anymore, they will still outgun you. Summers falls into that category as well, though not as good as the gearing. Its guns still do hurt, and actually I would say Summers is very similar to the Shimikaze in some respects, or at least in that respect. However, I would argue that the torpedoes on the Shimikaze are much, much better than those on the Summers. And I have Summers, and I enjoy Summers, but I feel that there are better options now in steel than the Summers. And that's why you really don't see too many Summers. And out of all the destroyers, or at least the old guard of destroyers, you see the Shimikaze a lot more than Summers, and I'd say even Gearing. And outside of that, the ships that you're going to see the most, once again, are those meta gunboat destroyers like the Smallen, the Holland, the Kleber, the Daring, which is really just what this season and what ranked gameplay is built for right now. And that's more the reason, more due to other reasons than, you know, Shimikaze not being a good destroyer, because it is a good destroyer, but it's just like, if there's a gunboat out there, why would you want a torp boat when you can't compete? And that's going to end the round right here. My thoughts on the Shimikaze. Once again, overall a good round. I'm probably going to stick with the Shimmy. I've been doing very good in it in ranked gameplay right now. I'm enjoying it, and enjoyment is the key thing right there, right? As long as you're having fun, it's all good. So tell me what you think of the Shimmy if you use it. I'll catch you all later. Zoop out.